at all. This is what I need you to understand. If you realize this, it'll start to get you a different perspective of your current relationship, because part of you are stuck in a trauma bond. This is where you're confused. This is where you're stuck in the chaos. And this is where you literally feel like you're crazy, literally feel like you're insane, because you keep either cycling back to this person over and over and over, or he keeps sucking you back into the toxic relationship. Maybe you've been in a place where you've been hoovered being sucked back in. You've gotten away, you've gotten free. You're saying, hey, I'm done. This is no more. And then all of a sudden he comes back into your life. You think it's over. You think you've finally gotten free, but then he walks back in and you get sucked back in to the vortex of being inside a narcissistic relationship. This oftentimes has used and abused you over and over and over again. This leaves people in places where they're stuck in a cycle. You could be stuck in a cycle with the same person for multiple years. And I'll see people who are stuck in the same cycle for 5, 10, 15, 30 years being with the same person, where it's literally just been a roller coaster. There's been these highs and these lows. There's been a breakup, and then there's been a get back together, and a breakup and a get back together. And these cycles continue to happen over and over and over. How many of you have struggled with the cycle of being in a toxic relationship? The push and the pull. You feel like you take 5 steps forward and then you take 20 steps back. You make 1 step that's progress and you make 3 steps backwards. You start to get free and then you get sucked back in. The cycle that you're going through that feels almost like an addiction is what we call a trauma bond. Now, the trauma bond is oftentimes guided and stuck in this piece of hope, where you're hoping that he's going to change, you're hoping that he's going to figure it out. You're just thinking, he's got so much potential. We have so much potential together. Like, we've done so great. There's been such good moments, and it locks you in. It locks you into that version of reality. But the problem is, it's not real. Because simply put, he doesn't care. Now, how can you say that he doesn't care? I know that he doesn't care by his actions. His actions speak more volumes than any words that he's going to try to gaslight and manipulate and abuse you with. Simply put, his actions are what are going to reveal how he's actually showing up. His actions are going to show you his demonstration of care. And the problem is, when you've been with a narcissist for such a long period of time, you start to discount the actions that he's doing. You start to ignore them. You start to think, it's not that bad, it's not that big of a deal, at least he hasn't hit me this week. There's all kinds of stories that you come up with to justify being in a toxic relationship. This is part of the trauma bond. The piece that locks you in, the piece that leaves you stuck inside this relationship over and over and over again. Now, like I said before, you could cycle back and forth with the same person for multiple years. The Hoover, the back and forth, okay? Ups and downs, highs and lows, break up, get back together. Or you could be cycling through other people that are all the same type of person. Maybe you grew up in a narcissistic household, in a narcissistic family. Maybe you grew up in a place where you're like, hey, this is just what I'm used to. And then you got with a toxic guy. And then after that, you got out of that and got in another relationship with a toxic guy. Then after that, you got saved by another guy that out of this relationship, but he was a toxic guy. And you're at the place thinking, am I just crazy? Because I feel like I'm a narcissistic magnet. How many of you watching this right now feel like a narcissistic magnet? Just type in the word magnet. Want to know if you're actually paying attention, for one. But this piece of like where it feels like you just keep attracting the same person over and over and over. There's been a couple of studies that have been done. I'd have to Google to know exactly what the numbers are. But say, for instance, you take 100 people that are signified as like healthy people and put them in a room. And then you put 2 people that are struggling. Or you put 2 people that have like these issues. Okay, it could be like mental, emotional issues, whatever it might be. But you put those 2 people in the room. It does not take very long for those 2 people to find each other. Why? Because there's this energy. There's this peace that's going on. There's this attraction because you start to find the same person that identifies with different aspects that you might as well. Now, pause, because I'm not saying that you're a narcissist, okay? What I'm saying is when you're with a toxic guy and you've done this for multiple times with multiple people, you will start to go back to what you are comfortable with. Many of you have grown comfortable inside the toxic relationship. You've grown comfortable to being belittled. You've grown comfortable to him abusing you mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually. Like, that's something you've started to justify, compartmentalize, disassociate, all of those things. And until we break you out of the comfort zone of thinking that this is normal or this is okay, nothing's going to change. Listen to this really carefully. At this point, you need to understand, if nothing changes, if you stay in a place where you're confused, you don't make a move. If you don't make a move, you die. The version of you right here, right now starts to whittle away to nothing. Mentally and emotionally, inside of different relationships and friendships and family, inside of your purpose, inside of your calling, and even physically. You will start to disappear of who you actually want to be. This version of you will disappear. You've already seen this inside of your confidence, inside of your clarity, inside of the piece of your self-esteem that isn't here like it used to be. This is part of what the narcissist is doing. He's playing these games with you to keep sucking you back in, keep you stuck, keep you addicted, and keep you inside this trauma bond. Now, if you resonate with what I've been saying so far and you see this piece of the trauma bond, I want you to reach out for help. We're just releasing a brand new challenge called Survivor to Thriver, where I specifically guide you through breaking the trauma bond, learning how to process your emotions, and deal with the triggers that he's been putting on you over and over and over again. If you sign up today, you're also going to get 6 group coaching calls and accountability sessions with me inside of everybody that's going through this challenge. 30 benchmarks. There's a lot of tools, resources, a connected tribe that you're going to be with. All of this, we're running at a pre-launch price of $297. Okay? You don't have to do it. It's just an opportunity. Okay? There's no obligation for you to be able to do it. But if you want the actual steps that we've seen have consistently broke people free from toxic, narcissistic, abusive relationships that are stuck in a trauma bond, that are stuck in a cycle, that are a magnet, that are just going back and forth over and over and over again, then I want you to reach out for help. You can go to rawmotivations.com/survivor. We'd love to be able to help you move forward. The pre-launch is going out today. We have this going on just for a day because we want to make sure that you're moving forward for you. Don't sit in this place of confusion where you don't make a move for you. You don't make an investment in you to be able to change where you currently are. Because where you currently are isn't working. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching me right now. So I want you to be able to take that step. Go to rawmotivations.com, click on the Survivor to Thriver challenge. It's an opportunity for you to engage with me, for you to engage with others, and for you to actually find the clarity, the purpose that you actually have on this life that right now has been hidden, disguised, and abused simply because of the guy that you're with right here, right now. If I can help you with this, I want you to win. So move forward. Step into rawmotivations.com/survivor, and we'll talk about it, and we'll move you forward today. You have a blessed and wonderful day. We'll see you all next time.